That's better. Hello everybody, how are you? Welcome so much to this really special, momentous occasion, well we think it is anyway. Inspirations and I have turned 60. So another person who had a birthday this year, I won't tell you which one it is. Shall I? Tomorrow. Oh, same as mine. Is Janet, my great friend Janet Bridgeland, who's responsible for the wonderful illustrations that are now appearing in each issue of Inspirations. So now I'd like to introduce to you Susan O'Connor, who's been with Inspirations from the very first thought of that title, Inspirations, and has been such an enormous part of what we do. To have a few words about her memories of the magazine. Susan O'Connor, everybody.
I think I'm one of the bits of the magazine that isn't South Australian, but my father was born in Narracourt, so that counts for anything. My very first memory of the magazine was of course, the 3 little booklets that came out on the back of the smocking magazines. How many of you have still got those? They were the first Inspirations that ever came out. And one of the things I do remember was that there was a bit of a discussion on the name of the magazine, and it was between Inspirations and then something about Thing of Beauty was the other one that we had, but I think probably Inspirations was a better choice in retrospect. But I can very clearly remember when Country Bumpkin was at 76A Kensington Road in Rose Park, and there's probably a lot of you who used to come to Country Bumpkin when it was there, so it's had several incarnations before it's been in Unley Road. And we were all sitting in the publishing room, which at that stage was a single room. There was one room where everybody worked, and the first Inspirations came. And it really was like having a new baby. Everyone was so excited about seeing the fruits of our labour, all the work that we put into the people who stitched, people who did the writing and the proofing. And here at last was our very first Inspirations magazine. And it's really quite hard to believe that that's actually 15 years ago, because I'm sure I'm not 15 years older than I was then, and I'm sure none of you feel like you are either. But and then that evening, after the magazine had actually come, several of us stayed at the office until about 4 o'clock in the morning, packing up all the first subscriber copies. So all of those brave people who subscribed to Inspirations from Smocking and Embroidery, who'd never ever seen the magazine, we sat up until the very early hours of the morning and hand-packaged all of your magazines into plastic bags. Is there anyone here who received one of those? Lovingly packaged and stuck up. So it's good to see that you're still with us after 15 years. So I think other memories that I have of the magazine, I remember it by about issue 4, or it might have been issue 3, and I looked back at the first 3 issues of the magazine and I thought, everything in these projects, it's all flowers. Everything had flowers on it. So I decided to do something that didn't have flowers on it, and I don't know whether any remember the slippers with the fruit and the moons and stars on them. I think they were the first thing in Inspirations that didn't have flowers on them. Oh, yeah, Margie's got it there. So that was a response. Not that I don't like flowers, but I thought perhaps we could extend our boundaries a little bit further than flowers. I've had lots of enjoyment out of working for Inspirations over the 15 years. Done lots of stitching, lots of writing, lots of travelling during that time, and meeting people who are subscribers to the magazine all over the world. But I think, it doesn't matter where you go, it's always important to remember that the home of Inspirations is here in Australia and here in Adelaide. And it's quite an achievement for especially a small company like Country Bumpkin to be able to publish a magazine of such quality. I'm sure when you go to the newsagents and you look at some of the magazines that come out that are produced by very big companies, and the quality is certainly not a patch on what comes out of Country Bumpkin here in Adelaide. So I hope you all continue to enjoy the magazine, as we'll continue bringing it to you, and that in another 15 years we'll all be sitting here looking at one another wondering where that 15 years went. So thank you very much.